Hello student, in this session we are going to learn Political Science Class 8 Chapter 3 Why do we need a parliament? In the previous segment we have learned that why do we need a parliament? We feel very proud that we are the citizen of this country. We are living in a democratic country where we find the equality, where we find the right to vote, where we find the respect of each religion, and whatever we want to do we can do it because of we have the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, where we have, if you recall from the previous chapter, the chapter 1, we have the fundamental rights, the right to equality, right to education, right to building of the institution or for the culture and for the religious purpose you can make it. You have the given the freedom of speech that you can express whatever the things used to come in your mind and anywhere of the places, but doesn't mean you can use the abusive language. You can use the you can say a basic language which is going to help to the people. So far in the for this chapter what we have seen that in the first segment of the video, that why do we need a parliament? We need a parliament because to make the law, to make the rules and regulation, where we used to elect a representative. So we have the idea this particular representative have the core, or the particular representative have some ability to make the laws, and it going to implement the particular rules and regulation plans and initiative in the whole nation, and used to keep and it is to protect our territory and the boundaries which the other foreign countries can't going to uh, going to do war with us or can't do conflict with us. So these are the things that we have given the right to vote, or by which we can elect a representative by casting a vote, so by which that they can make our nation into the developed nation, and by which they can take our nation to the at that level where we want to see our nation, that if we can say in the economic level, in the social level, in the political level, in the technological level, and by using the number of the scientific invention, number of the discoveries by which we can take our nation at the par level. So here we talk about the in our India we find the parliament, that is in Delhi, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha is headed by the speaker, the current is the Om Prakash Birla, and the Rajya Sabha which is headed by the Vice President of India. Right now is the name is the Vice President of India is the Venkaya Naidu, and the President of India is the Ramnath Kovind. He is from the Bihar. He is very much good president. And when the every 5 years when there is the Lok Sabha election, the last year happened in 2019, where BJP formed the majority, BJP showed the majority, and they formed the government. So the BJP members, those who have win the election, they used to come and sit in the parliament in the ruling party, and those who are defeated, just we talk about the Congress, the other parties and the independent parties, they used to sit in the opposition. So who is the Prime Minister current now? That is the Narendra Modi. So these are the things which we have seen so far, that who are there. So if we talk about the Home Minister right now, we have the Amit Shah. If we talk about the Defense Minister, there is a Rajnath Singh we have. If we talk about the Finance Minister, so who are the Finance Minister? That is the Nirmala Sitharaman. If we talk about the Railway Minister, that is the Piyush Goyal. So such of the, you can say, sector are given to the MPs, that this is the particular sector which I am going to assign you as a leader. Just if you think that I am the PM and those who are the PMs were win in the election, so I'm giving some work, or I'm giving some sector, or assigning their work. So in this particular sector, you can see what kind of problems they have. You can solve it, and you can make such a plan that they can go towards the development level. The later on we come to know about that if the in the election, in the Lok Sabha election, if the none of the government show the they didn't get the vote in the majority, show the two parties, the two major parties with the friendship, or you can say the with the alliance, they used to come together and they form the coalition government. So if we see the 1999 data which we shown in a textbook, that at that time the government they were formed, it is in the coalition form, where the number of the parties come together, they make the alliance, after they make the coalition government. So far in today's in this segment, what we have to learn to control, guide and inform the government, that what they have to control, what they have to guide and what they have to inform. Law making, how the law used to take place. First they have given the brief, the when some of the law which is going to be passed. So the first starts from the lower house, that is the Lok Sabha. They do the lots of debate. They used to do that. What some of the points are lagging behind it. After passing like some of the majority. This particular law is passed by in the Rajya Sabha. Then in the Rajya Sabha they also doing the number of the debates. After that there's some majority, they used to pass this law to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court, what they do, what they have the work, that the judiciary is a work they're having. This law is according to our constitution or not. After they used to send this particular law to the president. After signing this law, that particular law is regulated in all over the India, and state given the rights, or the state given the consent that you have to accept the law over a period of time, and you have to regulate in all over. If the president can't sign it, so he can reject that I don't like this law and it will not going to regulate in our country. And if the law is not according to our constitution, then the Supreme Court is also going to reject it. And even if you talk about the upper house, the Rajya Sabha, if they thought that if this particular law is doesn't show any kind of, you can say, they didn't pass some of the majority, but that particular law is going to again in the Lok Sabha, again they do make the changes, again they do the debate. It takes lots of time, maybe somewhere it takes 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, somewhere it takes uh, 10 years, and some of the laws still there. It starts from the, you can say, from after the independence until today they are going on, and still it not passed. But this current government is very much good. They're passing the law in a very rapid way where it doesn't take that much of time. So start with this. First we see this two picture. This is the south block, north block. There are the four blocks where you first in the Delhi, if you go towards the India Gate, from the India Gate, there is a straight line. You will find the first, the President House. Then after that, you will find the four blocks: North Block, South Block, East Block, and the West Block, where you find the PMO office. Then other where you find the Defense office. Then other two find the other one. Then extreme the straight line, you go towards the right side, you will find the parliament. It is very much big. Then if you go towards the left side, you will find a central secretariat, or you will can say the sachivalaya. So this is the one such picture of this thing. The two building of the central secretariat, the south block and the north block, built during the 1930s. So this building was built up in the period of colonial rule. The photo on the left is the south block of the house of the Prime Minister, which I already explained, the PM or the Prime Minister office, that is in the South Block, and the Minister of Defense or the Minister of the External Affairs, that is in the North Block, is the photo on the right of this Ministry of the Finance and the Ministry of the Home Affairs. The other Minister of the Union Government are located in the various building in the New Delhi. So where you find everywhere place. If you visit the Delhi, you can see the buildings outside from that, and you can click the photo as well. The Rajya Sabha functions primarily as the representative of the state of India in the parliament. So Rajya Sabha can also initiate the legislation, and the bill is required to pass through the Rajya Sabha in order to become law. So it is necessary that the particular law is come from the Lok Sabha, that it come in the Rajya Sabha, and it should be passed by the Lok Sabha to the judiciary. It therefore has an important role for reviewing and altering, if the altering or needing the law initiated by the Lok Sabha. The member of Lok Sabha are elected by the electors members of the Legislative Assembly of the various states. The members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected member of the Legislative Assembly. So here in the Rajya Sabha, we do not, the ordinary people do not have to give, they do not have to give the, or you can say they do not have to cast their vote. Here the only the legislative assemblies and the member of the Lok Sabha, they have to cast their vote, then they elect the members of the Rajya Sabha. So the legislative of the various states, there are 233 elected members plus 12 members nominated by the president to control the guide and inform the government. The parliament, while the session begins with the question hour. Now there is a question hour. Each and every, you can say, not every individual, but at a particular fix of time, the each and every MPs, they used to raise the question. They used to say that the particular thing is going to happen in my state, and can you make some plans to solve it? So the question hour is the important mechanism through which the MPs can elite the information about the working of the government. This is a very important way through which the parliament controls the executive. This is a very important way through which The parliament controls the executive. By asking the question, the government is alert to its shortcomings. So by asking the question, the government is alert to the shortcomings and also come to know the opinion of the people through the representative in our now people through the opinion of the parliament, that is the MPs. Asking the question of the government is a crucial task for the every MP. The opposition parties play a critical role in the healthy functions of the democracy. So here the opposition parties play an critical role in the healthy functions of the democracy. They highlights the drawback in the various policies and the program. So they highlight the drawbacks of the various policies and the programs of the government and mobilize the popular support of their own policies. So that the government um, popularize their support to their own policies. So now you can see this, the following is the example question asked in the parliament. This is the given the scenario by which you can understand how the question hour taken place in the Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha unstated question on 2000 answer on 30/11/2007 junk food in school. So what is the question hour? They used to put a question hour junk food in the school. You can allow the junk food in the school or you do not want to allow. So 2007 Sri Salrapati Kushum Swami Karventan, he is a South Indian, will the Minister of Women and Child Development, we plead to the state. We plead to the state that this is the, you can say, the formal language they are using in the parliament, whether the National Commission of Protection Child, right, the NCPRC, has asked all the state government to ban the junk food in the school or also setting up the nutritional standard. If so, the detail therefore. So they urge this government, this particular NCPCR that you have to stop or you have to ban the junk food which they are using in the school. So whether the union government has ensured the not a computer, the compliances of the above standard by the state and let's show the detail therefore. The answer are the Minister of State of the Minister of the Women and Child. Here the one MP used to raise the question and the member of the NCPCI or the head of the NCPCI used to give the answer in that the Minister of State of the Minister of the Women and the Child Development ENB, no sir, a letter was issued by the state by the National Commission of the Protection of the Child at NCPCR to consider providing guidelines to the school to create school nutrition policies. So this, in the if you are in that time because when this law was passed I was in this school at that time. So in my school that the teacher used to give the timetable that on the particular day this kind of food you have to come in the school. Like the first day they used to put the timetable that you have to come up with the idli, the second day the poha, third one day is the upma, then the sandwich. Yes, one day they allow the sandwich, then come up with the another way the paratha and all such stuff. So the school used to provide the timetable that you have to come with the healthy food rather than the junk food. So this time all this rules were regulated in all the school, whether you talk about the government school whether in the private school. So at this time my mother used to make this food and everyday basis on the timetable basis she used to give me the food that in the school if I go with the, you can say, the junk food, so the teacher said that you have to go back to the home and come with the only harmful they allowed. If the like some day you can't make the according to the timetable the food, then you can come up with the you can see the salad, maybe the fruits, maybe the vegetable, whatever it is. One day they used to allow you come with that, but don't with the chips, the biscuit and the burger and the pizza, not like that. You have to come up with the healthy food. So the government get the valuable feedback and kept in on the toes of the question asked by the MPs. In the addition, in all the matters dealing with the finance, the parliament approval is crucial for the government. This is one of the several ways in which the parliament's control guides and informs the government. The MPs as the representative of the people has the central role in controlling, guiding and informing the parliament. And this is a key aspect of the functioning of the Indian democracy. The government gets a valuable feedback. Now they used to get the valuable feedback and it's kept on the toes by question asked by the MPs. In addition, in all the matters dealing with the finance, the parliament approval crucial for the parliament approval is the crucial for the government that the parliament this is one of the several ways in which the parliament controls, guides, the inform the government. The MPs as the representative of the people have a central role in the controlling, guiding and informing the parliament. This is the key as for the functioning of the Indian democracy. So the now we come towards the next topic, that is the lawmaking. How they used to make the law. I used to give you the brief sense how they used to make the law from the Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha, then the judiciary, that is the Supreme Court, then after that the last is the president. So lawmaking is a significant function of the parliament. So who are the people in the parliament? So who are the people who make this law? So the parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. For example, there are the more rural members, also the members from many regional parties. The people are from the rural areas, people from the regional areas, groups and the people that were till now unrepresented are becoming to get elected to the parliament. There has also been an increase in the political participation from the Dalit and the backward caste and the minorities. Now they were increasing the political participation from the Dalit, backward class and the minorities. Let us look at the following table that shows the percentage of population who voted in Lok Sabha in the different years. So the Lok Sabha, they have given the first, fourth, fifth, sixth, eighth, 10th and 14 election years 1951, 52, 1967, 1971, 1977, 1984, 1991 and 2004. Voters turnout 44.87, 61.404, 55.27, 60.49, 63.56, 56.73 and 58.07. So over a period of time you can see there was earlier it was decreased, then in the middle you will find the increasing in number, the later on you will find the decrease in the number. So over the period of time, how much of the people used to participate to give to cast their vote to elect their representative. So on the basis of that, on the basis of how much the population given the vote, so these are the percentage, and this year how many a person can had given or had cast their vote to elect their representative. So this had been observed, the representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of the society. So they have not been, this has been observed that the representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of society. There is a realization that where the interest and the experience separate us is important to assure that the communities that have been historically marginalized are given the adequate representation. So there is a realization that when the interest and the experience separate us, it is important to ensure the communities that have been historically marginalized and give the adequate representation. With this in mind, some seats are reserved for the parliament, like for the SC, STs, and this has been done so the MPs elect from those constituencies with a family with can present the Dalit, Adivasi interest in the parliament. So the, some of the seats are reserved for the ST, SC because these people know the area very well and they can know what the problems faced by these people and they can solve it. So, similarly in that, more recently we suggest that there should be the reservation seat for the woman. Now they are thinking of that there should be the reservation for the woman. Now there are the 543 members in the parliament in which two seats nominated by the president, but in which they said that some of the seats should be the registered for the women. So they registered up to the 33% of the women should be there in the parliament. This issue is still being debated. They're debating, but it's passed. 60 years ago, only the 4% of the MPs were the. Oh, think about only 4% of the women were there in the parliament. Today is just about the 9%. Now, today is only just the 9%. This is a small share when you consider, in fact, that half of the population of the women. It is an issue of the kind that the force of the country to ask the uncertain, difficult, often unresolved questions about whether our democratic system is representative enough. So, our democratic system is represented enough. The fact that we can ask this question, are working towards the answer, is a reflection that strength and the faith the people in India have a democratic form of government. Sooner in India we find the democratic form of government in which we can see the different scenario that the issues of this kind force the country to ask the center to difficult, often to unresolved it, unresolved in the sense to resolve it, and whether the democratic system is represented enough. So the democratic system is represented enough or not. Like any of the government who used to I'm giving the exam, any of the government, they used to form the government, so they have the right to make the decision. If any of the government they fail to make the decision, so there is a need of a government. Yes, there is a need of a government, but we have the right that we can change the government after the elections. So what is written over there? I'm again explaining that it is the issue of the kind, the force of country to ask the certain difficulties, often unresolved question about whether our democratic system is represented enough. So our democratic country is represented enough. So yes, our democratic country is represented enough because whosoever after casting our vote we elect a representative, so they are eligible to take the decision, make the plan, take the initiative, making the laws. So they have the idea just what we have to do and what we do not have to do, because they have to do the certain thing in the certain boundaries. Like if we talk about in the constitutional boundaries, in the human right boundaries, in the citizen right boundaries, that doesn't mean they become the representative. Whatever the things used to come in the mind and they can do it. It doesn't like that. The fact that we can ask this question are working towards the answer is the reflection of the strength and the faith that the people in India have in democratic form of government. So the people have the faith that this particular government can do anything for their country. So far what we have discussed that in this chapter, why do we need parliament? We need a parliament for the making of the laws, for the regulating of the plans, and by at a particular place the number of the people, whether we talk about the ruling party or whether we talk about the opposition party, they come together, they make the decision of this particular plan by which the particular plan become effective, that it is accepted by the people rather than the opposing by the people, that when the different minds sit together they give their different opinions, and after the discussion of that we come up with the outcome, we come up with the result that this particular law, this particular plan, this particular initiative, this particular scheme is going to have the people. Then later on what we come to know that the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, that you have to keep it in mind, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, in the English we used to call it as the Lok Sabha is the lower house, Rajya Sabha is the upper house, which is in the Delhi. Lok Sabha is headed by the speaker, that is the right now is the Om Prakash Pillai, and if we talk about the Rajya Sabha, which is headed by the Vice President of India right now, that is the Venkaya Naidu, and the President of India is Ramnath Kovind. He is from where? He is very much intelligent. If you, and another thing you have to keep in mind, the PM of India, that is the Narendra Modi. So whoso in the any of the Lok Sabha election, when they show the majority, after that they have to form their government, and the leader of that particular MP, so you can say the member of the parliament, the leader is the prime minister. So after seeing the what kind of you can say the sector, the institution given to the particular people, so the PM used to decide this particular sector assigned to this particular MP, that he can going to do the work with what are the sector as home ministry, defense ministry, railway ministry, extra foreign affairs ministry, human resource ministry. Then we talked about the agriculture ministry, industry ministry. Then we talk about the education ministry. There are the different ministry where we assign the different government, they can do their work. Then later we come to know about what to control and guide the information of the government. So yes, we can participate by casting our vote and by giving our consent to the different in the, you can say the decision making. Like nowadays is the digital era, so in which by using the different platforms, just we talk about the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, and the WhatsApp, they make the government grow, and there are the certain apps which is regulated by the government. So in that we can give a suggestion that this type of changes you make in this plan and scheme, in the initiative which you have started, which is going to have the people and the nation, and uh, because if the number of the people used to give the suggestion, it make the particular plan very much effective. And later on we come to know about the lawmaking. So lawmaking take place starts from the Lok Sabha, which I already explained. Then after the long debate, after the passes the certain majority, it goes towards the Rajya Sabha, but it's not mentioned in this book. After passes a certain majority, then it goes towards the judiciary, you can say the Supreme Court. Let's see that whether this particular law is according to the constitution or not. If it is, they can include it. If it is not, they go no. If it is included, they pass it towards the president. If it is not, they used to reject it over that time. And it is going towards the president. So when the president look after this particular law, then when he used to sign it, or when she used to, when he or she, whosoever the president over any of the time, if he or she used to sign it, the particular is law, but the particular law is passed, now the particular law is made, and it's going to regulate in all over the country. And if this particular law by the president, if they don't see for the 6 month, so this particular law again we consider as a rejected. Then again it used to go in the Lok Sabha, again they used to make number of the changes, again it used to take the long day, but then again needs to go towards Rajya Sabha, then the judiciary, then again the president. Then like this, the change is going on, and the thing is going to happen. So who are the people in the parliament? So who are the people, the elected representative, where we have chosen them? Then you have to do all this kind of work to elect our representative. So these are the people where we have given them the duty that you have to make the law, you have to make the plans, you have to start the initiative, you make the scheme by which we have the idea that this particular person is belong to our, you can say, our country or our area. So he has the idea what kind of plans they have to make, and what are kind of problems they have, and how he can solve it. So that particular person from that particular area take the all the problems, or you can make the number of the plans, and show that particular area at the central level, or if we talk about the state level, so they show in the legislative yourself. Over here we talk about the national level, so they show the particular MP shows this particular problems at the national level. So they, when they discuss all this thing, then they used to come with the effective plan, and this particular plan they used to regulate that the in the particular area, by which the people can come up with the solution that yes, the government is doing their work, and they regulate the plan and their schemes. So all such things we have find in that in the Lok Sabha there are some reserved seat for the SC and ST, that is the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe people, because the people of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they know their area very well, and they know what the problem is faced by the Dalit and the tribes. So they used to come in the lower house, they explain that this kind of the problem is faced by our people, and they do this kind of work. Then later on, if you come to more about that, there was a debate going on that there are some certain reservation is for the ladies as well. They can come in the they can sit in the parliament. So earlier there were only the 4% of the women in the parliament, but later on the percentage is increased, that is the 33%. But still now if we find in 2020 in India, the in the parliament women are still in low. We have to participate in the, you can say, the politics, by which we can change the scenario of the politics, and we can choose the modern techniques, the modern method of the politics, by which we can change all the scenario. And in the number of the foreign, if we talk about the US, and if we talk about the Australia, if we talk about especially the US, they're using the modern techniques, they're using the modern method to regulate in the policy. But if we talk about in India, most of the political system we copied from the UK, and still we are not using the modern technique. We are using the, you can say, the traditional way. Then you will come to know about the EVM machine, that earlier the people used to write with the earlier the people used to give the vote on the paper, and they put it in the box. So this leads to cut the number of the trees, or you can say the deforestation. So by using the EVM machine, we used to save 1,50,000 trees, by which by pressing one button, the vote is given to the particular party with the ballot paper. So that if you remember, if you recall that that one picture of the particular person, he is reading all the instruction how we have to use the EVM machine. So far, all this point we have discussed in chapter, that why there is a need of a parliament to making of the law, to for the regulation of the plan, for making of the scheme, and for the initiative of the any of the plan. So what the points we have covered in this segment: to control, guide and inform the government, lawmaking, and who are the people in the parliament, that are the representative. I hope you like this video. Thank you.